There we go. Good morning. Good morning. So here I am on time. So already proud of myself for the day because I'm on time. And let me get myself comfy as folks come walking in the door. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, this is Beth, Destination Decluttered. Abbott Elementary. Nice to see you. Me. Hey, me. Hey, you. Hey, you. Hey, me. How are you doing? Nice to see you as well. And Deborah, this is as I always say, this is the romper room portion of the show. Good morning, and Deborah and class and Cat Mama, nice to see you. It's kind of fun because though we don't probably know each other in person, I start to recognize names of folks, and it's just nice to see friendly names. Good morning. Oh, hey, me, Ellen. Nice to officially meet you. As you may know, my name is Beth. But just in case, and for those of you who are new, who are just kind of filtering in on this Thursday morning, 8:01 a.m. in the Eastern time zone, which is where I am from and where I enjoy living. And Deborah Smith, you helped me declutter my entire house. Damn. Why, how awesome of you to declutter your house. I just happened to help, huh? I love that. I am so glad. Thank you for letting me know I helped. When you let me know I help, it means that I'm doing something good. Feels good on my end. I love what I'm doing. But also, it reminds me to keep it up. To keep up what I'm doing, because it's helping folks. And as I said, folks that I haven't even met. Oh, gosh. You guys, here's a real moment here. I was trying to clean my glasses. I made more of a smudge. Oops, there's my real eyes, see? Ooh, yeah, but I can't see a darn thing without the glasses. So yay, I love it. Abbott Elementary, now you and I know each other a little bit more than just some people on TikTok. Hoping to get an early boost. Well, hey, I'm here for your early boost. And what I want to encourage you and everybody, there we go, say little layers. You have so much more going on for you than you realize it. You know what to do. You know what to do. You know what to do. You know how to do it. You just get stuck sometimes. And when you get stuck sometimes, that's what I'm here for. Is like, I'm kind of like AAA. The people who come when you call them and you're like, I'm stuck and I can't get out of this ditch, or I'm stuck in the mud in the side of the road and I'm trying everything I can. I'm doing all the things I know how to do to get my car out of the mud. But I feel like I'm spinning my wheels. I'm not getting out of the mud. And if anything, when I'm spinning my wheels because I'm doing the same thing over and over again, I'm kind of digging myself deeper. Okay? That's all right. We have all been there. And you know what? There are helpers. There are helpers to help you. So Deborah, it took 6 months to declutter your entire house. Hey, you know what? That's awesome. Now, 6 months from now, your house will be, if you changed your habits as well, your house is going to be less cluttered than it was 6 months ago. Congratulate yourself on this. Think about this. I'm always pointing at this thing behind me. It's kind of my visual for a road trip. 6 months ago, you were here. Now you're here. Now you're here. This is your new everyday is here. And moving forward, you're going to live in a decluttered home. You're going to catch yourself when you start to clutter and maybe do something different. All right? So I love that. I just don't know if I should put the furniture in storage and take my other 2 storage lockers out. Now, you know what? I love this because sometimes even in the coaching world, now, so I am, as I mentioned, my name is Beth, Destination Decluttered. I am a decluttering life coach. I work with people one-on-one via Zoom on my, I have a coaching package, but I show up and do these TikTok lives quite often. And what I want to suggest to you is part of the reason I show up is to give you the opportunity to allegedly ask me a question. But really, you're asking yourself a question. And when you say, I don't know, what if you did know? Which is, out of the 2 things, what would you rather do? If you don't know, get a piece of paper, fold it in half. You've got the pro and the con and the pro. Write down the pros, write down the cons. Help figure out what's going to feel good to you, decision-wise. Now, Val is asking, what's the very single best piece of advice you give to start decluttering? The very single best? What is this, clickbait? I kid. There's no best, there's no like magic bullet. I will say this though, kind of like I was just talking about it now. I have kind of 2 things go hand in hand. I want to say, actually, from my life coaching perspective, is start to pay attention to how your stuff makes you feel. And when the decluttering is making you feel overwhelmed, feel stressed, feel anxious, I want to say, pay attention to that feeling, work through it so you don't feel as anxious. I talk about being overwhelmed and then talking about calming down your nervous system, slowing down your breathing, breathing down into your lungs, quieting down yourself, quieting down those voices in your head that are telling you you can't do it. Shh, quiet down, slow down, all the downs, I like to call it, because the down just shows up all over the place. Over to under. You want to get feeling better. Then, once you start feeling better, that's the headspace and the heart space you'll be in to make a plan. And then, so my second thing is once, and this is, so this one is not specific, but all of the stuff I use, frankly, the way I coach, you can use everything I talk about coaching and apply it to any other area of your life. Calming down your nervous system and deciding where you want to go. Then you'll know what you're aiming for. Then we can get into specifics: surface clutter, stored clutter, sentimental. But here's something I'll give you guys a kind of a sneak preview of one of the TikTok recording videos I'm going to do, because I thought about it. The more I coach, the better I get at it, and the more I come up with ideas. Decluttering is learning how to stop and start, and to start and to stop. It's kind of like shifting gears. And when I say shifting gears, notice where my hand goes, because I'm of an age of shifting, like when you were driving in a car, is getting from stuck to started. And then when you're started, but you need to stop, knowing how to stop and being trusting that you can start again. Okay? Yes, I love it. Kim is saying, be patient with yourself. Small steps are better than nothing. Yeah. So I love that, Kim. That is a great idea. I call that chunking it down. Baby steps, small steps. Put one foot in front of the other. Right? So be patient with yourself. Notice that. Be patient. Be patient. You're moving at the right speed for you. The speed you move at is directly related, in my idea, to your nervous system capacity to drive at that speed. You know, if you go too fast in your car, you're kind of like, whoa, slow down. That feels weird. I'm uncomfortable. It's the same thing with going through life. Find a pace that works for you. And if it feels a little bit slow at the beginning, that's okay. You can always speed up. If you feel like you're racing through it, slow down a little bit. Find a driving pace that works for you. Find a decluttering pace. How often do you want to declutter? Work on your clutter to decrease the amount of stuff you have in your house. Find a pace that works for you and just start. It's really hard to mess up decluttering. It is. So there's no magic bullet. There's no one right way, except for if you're starting here and you know where you want to go, kind of finding the shortest line between those 2 points, but also the most enjoyable. There we go. Now Jody is saying, my grandma is a hoarder. It's so bad and I just don't know how to help her. Jody, how awesome of you to want to help your grandma who's a hoarder. No, I don't know how old you are. I don't know how old she is. Crap, allegedly, there are people my age who are grandmas. I feel like a kid and I'm almost 60. Here's what I want to offer to you just for context, in case you happen to be younger than me, and really for any of us, is to put the hoarding and put the clutter into a bigger perspective. Not just you, not just your, oh my God, we live in a society that has encouraged us for decades to consume, to buy things, to solve your emotional problems with stuff. We are. Feeling bad? Go buy this thing. No, you need the right purse, not that thing. Buy. It'll make you feel better. People make big bucks off of our misery. Now, I'm a Gen Xer and a punk rock adjacent person, so I like to call out that stuff. But what I also want to offer so that's my heart is talking about that. We're all in this together, as is your grandma. Your grandma also may have been either directly brought up in the Great Depression of the 1920s and 30s, which is crazy to realize it was almost 100 years ago, or even she was brought up by people who were affected by that. Now, back in the day, before we had the ways of mass production that really came post-World War II and, early 20th century and all that, I don't want to get too historical about it, but I just want you to think about this. When people legit had nothing, when they were like, oh my gosh, we don't even have anything to eat. We have nothing. That scarcity can stick with you for decades. Even if after the scarcity is over and you have plenty, you can be fearful. Well, I wasn't prepared then. I want to be prepared now. Now, this wasn't the same thing with me, but I grew up with people who were directly affected by that kind of mindset. I also grew up, my version of that kind of, I mean, we all have COVID to think about. My direction, I think about this, about the blizzard of 78. I grew up outside of Boston, blizzard of 78, totally unprepared for it. Oh my gosh, did we not have after that a box of powdered milk in the cupboard right next to the dog food, literally for a year or two, because we never wanted to go hungry again. So what I say this is to put it into context, Jody, and to seriously, Jody and your grandma, you with your clutter, me with my clutter, me with your clutter, show up with love in your heart. Love in your heart for your grandma. Don't make her feel ashamed. Just show up for her, have empathy, meet her where she's at. If she wants help, ask her if she wants help. If she does, ask her what would help her. If she doesn't know, come to me. I have some ideas. But listen to her. If she doesn't want help, if it makes her feel secure to have that stuff around her, you may not be the help for her. There may be mental health help out there if she's willing to have it. But you can't force somebody to declutter. All you can do is love them. Love them despite their clutter. Love your grandma despite all the stuff in her house. That's what I say to you, and I say that to every single over 100 people right here. Love the people with the clutter. Love yourself despite your clutter. I think that, to me, is a really good place to start at. And notice what I said when somebody said earlier, where do you start? You start with your nervous system. You start with love in your heart. And from there, that's when the road to where you want to go to, your destination declutter, kind of opens up. If you're in fear or lack or judgment or shame, kind of closes you down. Okay. Now, I know I went deep on that one, and it's only 8:12 in the morning, but that's really important stuff. And I don't know if anybody in the decluttering world talks about it this way. One of the reasons why I got my certification as a decluttering or as a life coach was because I knew, even from my own personal experience, both my own direct experience, how I grew up in a cluttered home, where that came from, that there is an emotional component, a nervous system component, what do you call it? Your somatic body. You get stressed out about stuff. It feels that way. You don't want to feel that way, so you stop doing what you're doing. So I hope that helps. Okay. Okie Teacher is saying, every evening before I put my PJs on, I try on at least 3 things from my closet. It's working. Hey, I love that you have found something that's working for you. Let me help you with that too, just a little bit to reinforce it, is notice what you did. You did what we call in the biz habit stacking. I like to think of barnacles, like you have a habit and you barnacled something on it, maybe because I like to go to the beach. You said something I already do. I put on my PJs every evening, so that's a habit. I want to introduce this new habit, and so what you've done is you introduced your habit of trying on 3 things, and it's working. So go for it. Think of other ways. People, think of ways that you have an existing habit that you can tack something on that's going to help you declutter. It could be something as simple as when you're waiting for your coffee to brew in the morning, you look at your kitchen table and you clear off your kitchen table. You know, you do a couple of dishes. It can be different things like that. Okay. Yeah, Mary is saying, my mother grew up in the Depression. She shared a lot of stories about Depression food. So yes, it can directly affect how people are for decades. For decades. I can speak from 100% knowledge because my mom is like that. Good morning, Erin. Nice to see you. Good to see you, lady. All right. Okay, so here's a couple of things. I'm kind of working backwards here. So what happens, just so you know on my end, if you're tuned into this TikTok live on TikTok right now, what did today is today? Oh my God, it's already May 9th. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Am I right, people? Oh my gosh. Next thing you know, it's going to be 2025. But I digress. Here's one I want to just give you a clue. So when I do the TikTok live, I get your comments showing up in front of me on kind of a scroll, and sometimes it sits there and I have a time to read it. Sometimes I would like to be methodical. I would just like to do it myself. TikTok thinks it's being helpful. It sometimes shoots it to the last comment, so then I have to back up. Please do not take offense. Do not take it personally. Seriously, one of the best pieces of advice, so easy to say, so hard to do, is to not take things personally. If I miss your comment, don't take it personally. Sometimes TikTok does its own thing. Okay? All right. Deus is saying, I am the worst. Okay? I'm going to call you out with love on this because I'm a life coach. Notice how you're talking to yourself. I am the worst. I am the worst. I like to call this dramatic language. This is evidence of one of the two voices in your head, or passengers, invisible passengers in your car. You're the driver. You're just driving along, or maybe you're stuck, or maybe you're just, maybe you're just parked in the driveway. There are two voices that are going to help you, that are in the car with you. You've got your backseat drivers, which is the voices in your head or real people, but you've also got your co-pilot. Your co-pilot is sitting right next to you saying, where do you want to go? Let's do it. I kind of show up in the co-pilot voice, but what I want to call you on is when you're talking judgy about yourself, when you are being mean to yourself, when you're saying you're the worst. Can you imagine somebody else saying, you're the worst? You're the worst at putting up laundry. How would you feel? That thought, those words, sticks and stones may break my bones, and names can hurt me. Words can make you feel a feeling. And when you feel sad, depressed, attacked, judged, fearful, you're probably going to shut down. So I say, you're not the worst at putting away my laundry. If there was a putting away of the laundry contest, you would not come in last. Just get curious. You're going to hear me say this a lot. Get curious. Don't get judgy. To me, judgment shuts you down. Curiosity opens you up. Get curious about not necessarily why you're the worst at putting away your laundry. Why can come later. Just examine. Get curious about what the steps are in your laundry process, and what part of that process do you struggle with? Is it the folding? Is it the I have no place to put it once it's all clean? Is it the where I put it is a pain in the butt for me to put it away? I know, like, we have towels. We just did some laundry. I folded the towels, and then I said to my husband, because I've got this arranged, I was like, hey, can you put the towels up on the shelf, because it's just a little bit too high for me to do it and have them sit there nicely. So I know that the towels are sitting on top of the dryer right now, folded, waiting for him to put them up there. Okay, so get curious why you, just where in your process, everybody, you have a process from being cluttered to not being cluttered in every area of your home. There are things you like to do in your home better than others. But what is the part of the process where you get stuck in the mud? Where you stop, where you stall out, where you don't get to your finish line, not even finish line, like your destination of laundry away. Okay? Get curious. Yes, and if the laundry piles up on you, why is it piling up? Look at what you're doing. What's the next step? Why is it staying in a pile and not being put away? Now, being a decluttering coach, I'm going to give you a tip. I'm thinking many times it has to do with the fact that when all of our laundry is clean, if we have too much clothes, we don't have enough room for all of our clean clothes. So it may be piled up on your bureau because if you open up the drawer, there's too many clothes there. That to me is an indication that, here's a cool thing, the laundry that is clean is the stuff you wear. The stuff that's in the drawers after you do laundry is the stuff you don't wear. So get curious about the stuff you don't wear and say, why am I not wearing this? Why is this taking up valuable real estate where I could actually use this space for the clothing that I already wear? Okay, but think about it. Know what I said. Notice how this feels. Get curious about it. Now talk about how you're feeling. Tay is saying, totally struggled this past week. My husband has been away at training. Okay, get curious. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but first of all, I'm sorry that you're struggling. And you probably miss your husband. I get that. Andrea's struggling. Notice the struggle. The struggle is real. It can feel like a struggle. It can. I'm not going to say it isn't. But feel the struggle. Get curious. Pop the hood open. What's underneath that's making you struggle? And when you can do that, then you can problem solve. Now, here's the interesting thing. So Tay is saying, totally struggling this past week. My husband has been away at training. Many people delight in the fact that their husbands are not in the house because they can finally get something done. So your specific thing is specific to you. But you can help yourself about that. Andrea is saying, I struggle with being so sentimental. I keep ridiculous things. Now, notice the judginess. I'm calling out the judgy words today. I'm calling out, I'm showing you where the backseat driver. You're ridiculous. You're so sentimental. You keep ridiculous things. No, you don't. They're not ridiculous. They mean something to you. I have so much stuff that somebody else, judgy, notice judgy. You're judging yourself about the quality of stuff you keep. That's not good stuff. That's ridiculous. Don't judge yourself. Tell yourself you're awesome. Even if it feels weird, start to believe it. Changes your life. Nothing you save is ridiculous. You just have a reason for it, and a reason for it may have made sense in the past. This is your 2024 you. This is your May 9, 2024 you. Decluttering gives you the opportunity to get in touch with who you were, who you are, and who you want to be. And say to yourself right now, is this thing that I saved now still as important to me as it was back then? I am sentimental as the day is long, and I have gotten so much better at culling out sentimental stuff because I don't want to feel like I'm drowning in it. I also don't want to save anything that tells me a bad story. I also don't want to save so many sentimental things that when I pass away, which, big surprise people, it's going to happen, I don't want to leave a lot of my crap to my nieces and nephews, even my sentimental stuff. The sentimental stuff means something to me. It means nothing to many other people. Okay? I will offer, love yourself. Start with your nervous system and get curious. Get curious about why you do things. Not judge me, not judgy, judgmenty. And with love in your heart for yourself. To bother asking yourself the question and listen for the answer. Don't just scurry away. Oh, I don't have time to do that. I don't have time. Okay. You've done things up till now to get the life you want. If you love it, that's great. If you don't, you can do different things moving forward to change your life. All right, what else do we have now? All right, I love it. Christina's Crafty Concoction says, I can't wait for the basement to be done now. You really have helped me a lot. I love it. I want my basement to be done too, frankly. Nobody else is doing it except for me, though. Notice me, even as a coach. I don't, I got to do it myself. All right, what else do we have here? Here we go. So this is a fun thing. I did a TikTok video about this recently, about thinking of your decluttering. Notice I say thinking. When you think about things a certain way, you feel a certain way, you do a certain thing. Think about your decluttering as a treasure hunt. Excuse me. Morgan Ray is saying, I was cleaning out paper clutter and found a new debit card I didn't know was mine, was even expired. Oh my gosh, that's so good you knew it, so you could cut it up and get a new one. Okay. Joe Retro, hey, nice to see you. Started on the garage. I bet your garage is full of awesome stuff. So cool. So cool. Congrats on that. I know the feeling. I have a lot of cool stuff in my basement. Luckily, I have sold it at Pyrex Fest. I have sold it to my sister. I have given it away. Having a lot of stuff can feel good. Getting too much can just feel too muchy. I love it. Christina says, thankfully, I have a team of family helping. This hoarder was full from a previous hoarder. Okay. It can be so much easier, trust me, to deal with somebody else's stuff than your own. So if you're dealing with a house full of somebody else's stuff, it may be a lot quantity-wise, but it won't activate your nervous system as much because you're so excited to see the results. I follow people on TikTok that says DK Dream House. Oh my God, I love those before and afters. So I love those things. Excuse me. Whatever. Oh, hey, so here's the thing. Erin said you thought I was going off the grid. This is a perfect opportunity for me to mention this. And Angelic, hi, nice to see you from Florida. Me going off the digital grid. This is what I call it basically when I go traveling and I'm not going to show up on TikTok for a number of days. So let me give you the calendar, okay? The people on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list know about this already, but I'm also going to share with them what my TikTok schedule will be for next week and the beyond. I'm just looking at my calendar right here on my other screen. So, yes, today is the 9th. I actually have TikTok live. Oh, shit.
Hi.
Oh, no.
Hi. How are you?
No. I hit the wrong button, you guys. Sorry. No, you guys. Swipe to close. Oh, goodness.
Please.
No, here. I did something wrong here, people.
Please.
You muted the opponent. I don't want this. Here we go. Pause the live. Okay, Destination Decluttered people, I have no idea how to get off this. I'm going to sign off and sign back on again. All right, Road to Superstars. I hit the wrong button. I'll be back. Bye.